U.S. embassies closing overseas. We're on high alert overseas for a possible terrorist threat. And today the president will sign a bill to lock in those lower student loan interest rates. Plus Memphis getting help with the homeless. 9th District Congressman Steve Cohen joins us this morning with more on all of these. Congressman, good morning. And let's talk about the embassies closing. Overnight, we understand that Pakistan is now being added to that list. How much danger is there overseas for Americans?
Well, we don't know. I presume that what we're hearing is accurate and that there is a threat, and indeed Al-Qaeda often takes this time of the year, Ramadan, to do things. So I think that the Benghazi situation is such that the president wants to be and the State Department wants to be at the highest possible alert to prevent any possible damages.
You know, a lot of folks don't go overseas and think this can't happen to me. Is there a threat, to your understanding, here at home right now?
No, I don't think so. I think we're safe. Just look out for the cars when you cross Union Avenue.
Right, absolutely. And just be careful driving. Yeah. Today the president is scheduled to sign a bill that will lock in those student loans. A lot of folks saying it sure took Congress long enough. Does it help people who already are paying the student loans whose interest rates doubled July 1st? Well,
it will, and I voted for that bill. It came over from the Senate. They got together a compromise, and the House agreed with it. We wanted rates to be lower. They set them kind of at a market based on Treasury bills with a max. It was a good compromise, and it's the way Congress should work, where we can't compromise and come together and pass legislation. In this Congress, we've only passed 22 bills, only 4 of substance, and that's been unfortunate. It's the most ineffective Congress in history.
Yeah, the polling shows that neither Congress nor the president's being held in high esteem right now, and this bill would be one of them. So this makes the rate, what, 3.9%? But it's not forever, right?
No, it will vary with the Treasury bill rate, liable to go up, but capped.
All right. Any thoughts of encouragement that maybe something will change and maybe we'll get a firm bill forever for these students who are headed into college and have this looming debt?
Well, it is a firm bill. It's just the rate does vary, and loan rates generally do vary, so it's more of a market rate condition, but still subsidized by being tied to just a little bit over the Treasury bill rate.
All right, let's talk about the homeless. You recently announced a grant for Memphis to help with the homeless problem, which is a pretty big problem here.
Well, it'll go through 2 agencies, one of which is Friends for Life. We've got a lot of homeless people here. A lot of homeless are veterans. We need to take care of our veterans. They've taken care of us. And so this is a grant like others that we solicit and we write recommendations for to get from Memphis to bring federal funds home. You know, we just had the transportation secretary here. We were recognizing the Main Street to Main Street grant, which we got in a $15 million Tiger grant. We're hoping to get another one of those as well.
All right, Congressman, you've been in the news a lot lately, and not just for the bills and the loans and that kind of thing, about your daughter who turned out not to be your daughter. And the reason I'm asking you this is because you were very honest and forthright on your Facebook page and on Twitter that it's really not news. I mean, it all started on social media. So if you want to say something to your constituents this morning about that whole thing.
Well, it was very difficult because she was my daughter for 3.5 years, and it was a emotional bond I had, somebody I cared the most about in the world. I've lost that. I've had several losses lately, personal emotional losses, but there's a lot of love in Memphis, and coming home has been great, and everybody's been wonderful.
Social media's changed everything, hasn't it?
Well, it's changed the news cycle. Social media gets things out, and people want to be first, and they can publish things, and everybody's a reporter, and they can create things in their mind that they publish that aren't true, and people read them, and they don't realize just because you read it on Twitter or saw it on Facebook doesn't necessarily mean it's true.
You're absolutely right about that, and we got to remind folks that just because you see it on the internet doesn't mean it's true. Right. Congressman, what's your favorite Elvis song?
All Shook Up.
And we're all shook up that you're here.
Thank you
so much. Have a great weekend. We'll be right back.